darling.
Oh my god, your phone just fell.
It's not my phone, it's the camera.
The camera fell over. Hi, I'm Edison.
I'm DC.
And welcome to Femmes React. We're watching Not Me, episode 7. Last episode, they went into the factory. They wanted to make the drink bitter. They wanted to hit back at to we. And they got intercepted by Hot Henchy. But White decided to change the plan last minute. And I was all like,
why are you always just really annoying?
But I'm sure there's a reason for it, and you know, Sean is blinded by revenge, but sometimes I get it. Like, revenge is revenge, you know? And as a Capricorn moon, I'm motivated by spite. So I understand Sean.
The thing about White is that he's very lucky. His plans are never thought out ahead of time. It's just kind of like on the spur of the moment, and then things kind of just work out. He's up to something about taking pictures and things like that. That being said, Sean's plan was kind of crap.
Make you drink bitter, ooh. But people don't know why. It's like...
I do agree. I'm like, Sean, this dude killed your father, and you're making him lose like tens of thousands of dollars. He doesn't care. He's like probably a millionaire, so...
Also, I have to get me a lab coat because, like, I can be wearing anything. I can be any age. If I have a lab coat on, that gets me by security guards and things like that.
I remember that part of the last episode, and I was like... And also, Sean just, like, choking people out. Like, there were, like, bodies everywhere. But also, honestly, if I was the guard and I was making minimum wage, I'd be like, okay, fine.
I was like, someone's robbing us. Like, I better not let them know that I know, so I don't get hurt, you know? I guess, yeah, that would be realistic if I was a guard.
Yeah. Also, in honor of this series, I am wearing my Keith Haring shirt. He was an art activist in the 1980s for HIV/AIDS in the USA. Yay.
We're so educational.
I know. It's just like, I just bring all the knowledge.
I'll bring the jokes. Ha ha ha.
He hit him with... That was another thing. He hit him with the helmet.
That is quite brutal.
That, I don't know if you've ever been hit with a helmet or felt them. They are hard. Like, they're supposed to protect your brain against, like, the pavement. That was the first time in this series I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely can't blame Sean. It's one of those situations where I'm like, I could see myself in his spot. Like, don't get in the way of my revenge. So,
โอเคนะเว้ยเรื่องนี้เกี่ยวกับพ่อมึงด้วยเหรอวะมึงไม่ต้องมาเสือกแผนของมึงก็คือทำให้สินค้าและโรงงานถูกแบนถ้าเราใส่สารขมลงไปแล้วมันไปถึงผู้บริโภคคนเขากินเข้าไปแล้วเดือดร้อนอ่ะถ้ามีคนเดือดร้อนมากขึ้นเขาก็จะต่อต้านในสิ่งที่พวกเราทำจากคนที่เห็นด้วยกับเราเขาก็จะเปลี่ยนใจกูคิดว่าถ้าเราใส่สารขมลงไปอ่ะยังไงมันก็ไม่ผ่าน QC แน่ๆเราทำให้โรงงานมันมีข่าวว่าระบบการรักษาความปลอดภัยมันไม่ดีให้คนนอกเข้าไปก่อกวนการผลิตแค่เนี้ยก็ไม่มีใครกล้าซื้อแล้วเราก็ไม่ต้องเสี่ยงทำให้คนที่ซื้อเขาเดือดร้อนด้วยทำไมมึงไม่พูดตั้งแต่ตอนวางแผนวะกูเพิ่งคิดได้ตอนที่กูจะเทสารมึงไม่
Exactly.
okay, well, at least say it after you're outside. I don't know. Did Sean give him a chance to explain himself? I felt like he did. But then he just ran away.
But just like he said, he was like, I came up with the plan when I was about to party the stuff in. I'm not on black side. I'm on black side, but I'm not on black side. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, everybody's messed up here.
If I was White, I'd be like, I'll hope we get revenge, but this is not the way to do it. You gotta know what motivates people and then appeal to that. You know, you all have to get out of there before Hot Guy comes and gets you, so run, drive.
Really? I would be like this.
We'd be waiting.
No. Oh. Oh. Don't get away. No.
กลัวที่มึงทำไม่ได้ผล
Oh wait, Graham doesn't think his idea is gonna work. Graham doesn't have faith in who he thinks is black.
พอที่คนจะระเบิดความโกรธออกมาพอมันไม่กระทบกับคนอื่นโดยตรงพอเรื่องไม่กระทบคนไม่ก็ไม่สนใจมันก็เป็นแบบนี้มาตลอดอยู่แล้วปะวะช่วงนี้ความคิดมึงเปลี่ยนไปเยอะนะ ถ้าเป็นกูพูดแต่ก่อนมึงคงด่าว่ากูโลกสวยชิบหายละ
I don't know why you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. So
งั้นเข้าไปแดกเบียร์กูสักปองสองปองกันป่ะทุกอย่างแม่งผิดแผนไปหมดตั้งแต่กูเห็นไอ้แบ็คไม่ทำตามแผนกูแม่งก็หัวร้อนกล้องวงจรปิดกูไม่ได้ลบเซิร์ฟเวอร์กูไม่ได้ทำลายกูแม่งไม่รอบคอบเอง
เผาบ้านในทวีบุกโรงงานไอ้เหี้ยแค่2 อย่างเนี่ยกูว่าก็ติดคุกหลายปีแล้วนะจะให้กำลังใจมึงเองนะแผนของมึงแม่งโคตรห่วย
why didn't he say anything? Yuck! What the hell?
ยังไงมันก็จบในโรงงานพอมันรู้ว่ามีคนบุกเข้าไปยังไงไม่ต้องตรวจเจอสารคมดีๆเปล่าวะมึงใช้อะไรคิดไอ้ควาย
Right. They were right. QC would have gotten it. Quality control.
กูให้จบกันดิ
It's like they purposely wrote the plan to be bad, so Sean could be in the wrong.
ทำไปแล้วมันจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นได้บ้างอย่างที่ไอ้แบ็คทำมันอาจจะได้ผลในแง่ที่ไม่กระทบคนอื่นเพราะฉะนั้นการที่เราเข้าไปบุกโรงงานมันเลยกลายเป็นแค่การเคลื่อน
What kind of friends are that? You just like let him go.
ไอ้แบ็คแล้วใช่ปะ
มึงมีเหตุผลนะดิวะไอ้ช้อนที่กูไปแกมยอมทำตามแผนของมึงเพราะพวกกูคิดว่าการเข้าไปบุกโรงงานมันยังไงมันก็ต้องมีข่าวรั่วไหลออกมามันอาจจะทริกเกอร์ให้คนกล้าสู้มากขึ้นก็ได้
มันจะเป็นแบบนั้นได้จริงๆเหรอวะ
I'm sort of like getting a better idea of the group dynamic. Literally nobody had faith in Sean, but they still went with the plan. They kind of have their own opinion and agendas.
Yeah, because one the like alligator tooth thing.
I'm glad they have their own opinions though.
ตอนนั้นข่าวมันเงียบมากมึงแต่มันก็ยังมีกระแสต่อต้านเป็นคลื่นใต้น้ำในโซเชียลมีเดียอยู่
Also, why is Yok the voice of reason right now? Like, I don't really trust Yok. With his
The
frenzy.
Yawk, the like chasing people.
Yes, like, gosh. He's kind of the most, what's the word? He's kind of the most risky one at this point.
Yeah.
He'll do anything for Dan, the policeman.
Question for everyone. How do you do your toothpaste in the morning? Like, do you like
Toothbrush and then wet the toothbrush and then put the toothpaste on and then brush? Or just dry, put the toothpaste on there and just wash your mouth like it just showed? I have a friend who did toothbrush, water, toothpaste, and then water again.
I'm like, wow, there's so many different ways to do this.
นี่แม่ไปทำงานที่โรงงานในทวีมันเหรอทำไมจะไม่ได้ก็มันเป็นคนชั่ว
Oh dear, this is a plot twist.
มันสร้างภาพทางนั้นแม่เดี๋ยวมันก็ไล่แม่ออก
Ooh.
แม่รู้ได้ว่าคนพวกนั้นเป็นคนเลวเขาอาจจะแค่ไม่ชอบที่ถูกไอ้ทวีกดขี่ก็ได้ปะ
แม่มึงทำงานที่โรงงานทวีเหรอ
กูก็เพิ่งรู้เหมือนกัน
That's another dimension. I guess they haven't explored.
Yeah, that is true because while he's a billionaire, he has all these businesses. All these businesses do employ
People. It's kind of like, not to kind of get off, it's like people who like say, oh, Amazon itself is a huge evil corporation. Yes, that's right. But it also employs all of these people who wouldn't have a job and actually pays good wages. All of that, you have to take on both of those, you know?
not just as simple as, okay, they're bad, shut them down. Then what about all those people employed? They could use better working conditions and stuff like that. But that's always the thing with big corporations. There are people involved.
And I think in Australia, that's the challenge as well, because the mining industry does bring in so many jobs, but obviously there's a lot of concerns with fossil fuels and global warming, and it's hard to balance or encourage people who rely on those jobs to... It's almost like voting against your interests, trying to convince someone to vote against their interests. I don't know, like...
Everything is not clear cut.
Because these systems are so intertwined, like it's not going to be a simple answer, a simple solution for any of this kind of stuff. And when you start getting into like the intricacies people start losing interest. They just want like either good, bad, right, wrong, stop this or don't do this. But like economics, there's this thing called externalities. It's like when you do something, then something out here, which you weren't expecting, happens. And it's kind of a blowback. I don't know. It's not easy.
The thing I don't agree with, though, is his mum saying that good people don't damage people's property. Like, that was a bit annoying for me. I just feel like there was a lot of discussion, right, about the protests and the riots for BLM, and that's the first thing I thought of when she said that. I just don't think it's a good message to send out. It's so irrelevant in the bigger scheme of things. This is Tawi's property as well, so you've got to do something to make a change.
If good people don't destroy property, then he wouldn't have built that house in that nature reserve where he didn't belong. That's not even his property. That was federal property that he decided to make his own. So he's not a good person.
That's true. He swindled his way into that native reserve, and then he destroyed
Right.
government's property or the natives people's property.
Mm-hmm. But then also destroying property. When you put property over people's lives, it just kind of makes me itch.
I know it was just like a thing that she said to provide like a different perspective, but I think there's a danger in when you say there are different perspectives and there are different sides to a situation, then that makes like a balanced, or like there are pros and cons as if they're equally considerable. It's more, to me, like there's collateral in terms of doing what you believe is right sometimes. And, it would be great to consider how to minimize the side effects, that you don't intend to happen.
There's one thing that I kind of want to pick up on and I hate is that when people say, oh, there's two sides to an argument. Yes, there's two sides to racism. You're either a racist or you're not. There's not like, oh, you're either like a bigot or you're just like the whole two sides. Sometimes, yeah, there's these intricacies and stuff like that, but you either want to kill someone or you don't. And trying to do this whole mental gymnastics about how this can eventually, we have to get beyond, not everything could be a gray area. Some things are black and white.
There's just so much to go into in this enjoyable BL.
It's a wonderful, lighthearted GBL.
That's the thing I'm like apprehensive about with this show right now. It's showing the consequences of their actions, Like, is it saying what they're doing is wrong, or is it just saying they need to think about it more?
What I'm seeing from the show is saying it's talking about processes. Processes and not actually intent.
All right, Tawi, what's
ว่าโรงงานของเราเนี่ยมีการรักษาความปลอดภัยที่ได้มาตรฐานเรามีล็อตผลิตส่งไปร้านค้าปลีกเนี่ยเป็นจำนวนมากฉะนั้นเนี่ยผมขอรับรองนะครับว่าสินค้าทุกสินค้าเนี่ยยังมีคุณภาพที่ดีแล้วก็พร้อมส่งไปถึงมือลูกค้าอย่างแน่นอนส่วนโรงงานของเราได้จำเป็นที่จะต้องปิดทั้งนี้ก็เพื่อตรวจสอบดูความเสียหายที่มันเกิดขึ้นผมรับรองครับว่าพนักงานทุกคนที่เดือดร้อนจะได้รับการช่วยเหลืออย่างแน่นอนคือผมมาดูแลทุกคนเนี่ยเหมือนคนในครอบครัวทำไมพวกเรากลายเป็นตัวร้ายไปแล้ววะมันรู้ไงว่าพูดยังไงแล้วคนจะเห็นใจว่าเรื่องที่เราอยากให้คนรู้กับไม่ได้พูดถึง
You really think you're going to go up against a millionaire or a billionaire and beat them at their game? I don't know. It's so difficult for them.
มันจะไปได้เรื่องอะไรวะมึงเข้าไปในเพจประชาทันข่าวดิเฮ้ยคนเข้ามาแชร์เล่นประเด็นนี้กันเต็มเลยว่ะเชี่ยซวยแล้วมึงมีรูปพวกเราอยู่ด้วยไอช้อนพังห้องเซิร์ฟเวอร์ไม่หมดเหรอวะมึงดูดิภาพเนี่ยอย่างไกลเลยใส่หน้ากากอีกต่างหากไม่มีใครรู้เราเป็นใครอ่ะ
Right, me better dye your hair.
อย่าปล่อยให้พวกเขาต้องสู้
Except for that one person with that hair.
ROL โลคืออะไรวะมันรีบใครจะไปคิดทันวะกูก็ใช้เรื่องที่เราติวกันอยู่นี่แหละ Rule of Law ไงย่อเป็น ROL ไหนเช็คกระแสในทวิตดิ
Everything's happening on Twitter.
อยากแสดงออกว่าไม่พอใจ
มาเจอกันวันนี้ที่หน้าบริษัททวีใครมันจะมาวะ
The thing is, like, what are they trying to rally people around? Is it that the dangers of monopolies? Or like, I would rally around someone to avenge their father, but that's not getting out. They're trying to rally everyone around his... Is it business corruption? Like, I'm even confused at what White sent them.
But also, he's above the rule of law, not only with the house, with his business dealings, with his father, with him killing Sean's father.
Is Graham gonna confess his feelings and then is White gonna have to be like, I'm not White, Saz? Or like, Graham holding back on his feelings is really convenient for this plot. Or I guess White could just be like, I'll give you an answer later.
People like, yeah, bro.
I'm just
Me too,
so
bro.
focused on dismantling Tawi that I don't have room for love right now.
It's not you.
It's not me.
It's not you. It's me. I'm not me.
I am glad that there's a lot of supporters here for them.
That happens. You get that Twitter sphere like fire.
So he's all good with people with disabilities, but he's not okay with queer people? Literally, this person is saying he prevents people with certain sexual orientations from working or being promoted?
See, this is the thing. He gave the person with disabilities a job. It didn't mean that he actually gave him like she's a manager or something like that. She's cleaning the
okay.
And that's what they're saying. They're saying like they're underrepresented, especially getting up. So like he could be like, yeah, sure, you're gay, you're LGBTQ. Here's a broom. You know, I don't want you inside my boardroom.
Right. I assumed that his PR, there was a hole in his PR strategy. Because he was trying to be like, I'm a good guy. I employ people with disabilities. But then if there's a hole in this plan, it doesn't seem very well thought out in terms of how he's coming across.
There's a clown in the back. That's scary.
I'm just trying to understand what this protest is about. Because I feel like they keep switching the cultural problem monster of the week, right? And so now it's, I suppose, patriarchy and representation in business. It's not something that they brought up previously. And so I didn't think it was one of Tawi's issues, right? And so, I guess we'll keep watching, but I'm kind of confused about what they're rallying around.
This is the thing you always have to watch out for changes in movement and things like that, move and change. With the group, the little gang, this was never their focus. In fact, all of that stuff didn't affect them and they didn't think about it. But when Tawi became a problem, all of these other people kind of like say, yeah, he's a problem because of this. He's a problem because of that. He's a problem because of that. And sometimes as movement gains speed, they do get outside other issues kind of put into them, like kind of absorbed up. So I think as he becomes more and more an issue, more and more things get out about why he's a bad person. Like you said, you can get behind like the other kind of stuff, but revenge for a father brought you in. So maybe all these other kind of things are bringing all the other kind of people in. So that's the way you coalition build. And coalition building in community organization is very important.
Okay, that makes sense. So other people have taken up the banner and been like, we hate him too. That's fair. Oh, is that Eugene? Good on Eugene. Look at her.
กูว่าไม่เป็นงี้เว้ย กูว่าทุกๆคนอ่ะแม่งก็ไม่ชอบไอ้ทวีหมดเลย แต่พอมีคนกลุ่มหนึ่งลุกขึ้นมาสู้ คนอื่นเขาเลยลุกขึ้นมาตาม มันเลยกลายเป็นม็อบแบบนี้ไงเฮ้ยเธอขอตัวก่อนนะเว้ยกูว่าจะไปดูซุ้มอื่นหน่อยว่ามีอะไรให้ลงชื่ออีก
Aww.
Oh.
Graham thinks that Black wants to get back with Eugene. Because he did tell her that he kind of wanted to get back with her. I mean, she got drunk before they could figure anything out.
เราเห็นเธอก่อนกับแกมอะ
แบ็คแอบตามเราไปเหรอ
เธอกับแกมแอบคบกันเหรอ
เปล่านะ คือเราจะบอกความจริงกับแบ็ค
Then find out they're cousins.
จบก่อน
I love how we're still not figuring out what happened to Black.
เราเคยจูบแกม
Because they're cousins? Do you think?
อย่าเพิ่งขมวดคิ้ว
I guess not. You're not
ฟังให้จ
cousins.
บก่อน ก็ตอนนั้น
Maybe they're from the Alabama island.
ก็จะไปเสียอันตรายอะไร
Maybe.
ก็ไม่รู้ ใครมันจะไปเข้าใจอะไรวะ
Right, so he broke up with her before he got beat up. So maybe that was the risky... okay.
การที่ไม่รู้อะไรเลยอ่ะ มันแย่ที่สุดเลยนะเว้ย
เราไม่อยากให้เธอต้องเสี่ยง เราจะตายเมื่อไหร่ก็ไม่รู้อะ
ทำไมอะแบกบอกเราดิ เราเป็นแฟนแบกนะเว้ย
Not anymore.
เธอรู้แค่นี้ก็พอละจะเสียเวลากับเราเลย
Whoa.
That's fair. I mean, he's trying to protect her. Okay, but what is this Graham, Eugene, Black love triangle? Are they gonna all end up together?
A throuple.
Eugene's kind of clingy though.
Anybody showing him anything?
Graham kissed her. Graham, what is on your mind? I guess...
เราขอโทษ
แบกตอบเราดิ
พี่ชายผมคงมีวิธีปกป้องคนที่เขารักในแบบของเขา และผู้หญิงคนนี้ก็คงรักแบ็คมากจริงๆ การไม่พูดอะไรออกไปคงจะดีที่สุด ดีกว่าที่ผมจะเสแสร้งเป็นแบ็คแล้วสร้างบาดแผลให้เธอยิ่งกว่าเดิม
This is like a whole, what, Lollapalooza? What's the word? A whole festival? A whole festival against Tawi, including marriage equality rights?
Just all of it.
It's just a whole day of protest. I thought it was just a little march, but they've got a whole festival.
I told you, just like they just support same-sex marriage.
อ้าวนุชมึงมาที่นี่ด้วยเหรอวะ
Oh, it's Nook.
กลุ่ม LGBT อ่ะเราก็ต้องมาล่ารายชื่อในพื้นที่ที่มีผู้ชุมนุมเยอะๆแบบนี้แหละยิ่งอะไรที่มันเกี่ยวข้องกับพวกสิทธิขั้นพื้นฐานหรือว่าอะไรที่
Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. Coalition building.
2-3,000 รายชื่อแล้วนะมึง
Oh.
ตอนเนี้ยคนส่วนใหญ่อ่ะอาจจะมองว่ามันไม่
I need more Nook in my life.
แต่มึงลองคิดดูนะเว้ยไม่แน่อะตัวมึงเองหรือว่าคนรอบข้างมึงอ่ะอาจจะกำลังต้องการสิ่งนี้อยู่ก็ได้แล้วมึงอ่ะลงหรือยังเมียกระเทยมึงอ่ะเขารออยู่ตั้งนานแล้ว
หรือจะให้กูกลับไปบ้านแล้วก็เอามาให้มึงที่นี่เลยไหม
Me said marriage equality now. You know what? This is one thing I do like. At least they're trying to, if not like directly say it or just at least recognize it, the LGBT plus the queer community. Because in a lot of BLs, the queer community kind of skated around and not talked about. And at least it's like front and center here. It's just something you didn't see in other, well, I can't recall in other BLs. So
Don't feel like this is obviously a traditional BL or they're trying to fit that mold. They're doing their own thing, you know, which is talking about the political atmosphere. And obviously this was very recent, the same-sex marriage being overturned or, you know, not passed in law. I think that was like really recent, wasn't it? Definitely really relevant and interesting, yeah, to see something classified as a BL evolve, and that discussion about whether BLs do reflect LGBT experiences or whether or not they're a fantasy, that I feel like that thing is getting blurred a bit more. It feels right talking about queer issues in a queer show. So I wonder when White will kind of feel his queer awakening. I wonder if he's going to have a revelation at one point, or like if he's here like, I'm an ally, like what's his thought process at this point? Or is he like, there's my boyfriend? Sean's here to watch the marriage equality show, so maybe this is sort of like a you queer bro sort of thing. Like, so many unsaid eye contact. I want to know what's going through their head. Is he like, you want to get married? Like, what's the conversation here?
They're all saying it in their eyes. Uh-oh. Is he going to touch the flag? Is he going to touch the flag? Is he going to touch it? He's going to touch it? He's going to touch it? No.
Do they do this thing where they all run through it? And that's fun.
Yeah, so I remember this when I was a little kid. And it was like,
too. Oh my god.
They had this like little big thing. And we all lift it up. And then it goes up in the air. And then we all sit underneath of it. And it's like this big bubble. And we're all inside of it.
Okay, so they're meeting under the rainbow flag. That's cute.
Wink, wink, and nudge, nudge.
Is Toei responsible for marriage inequality as well, though? Like,
but actually, that's what Nook said. Nook was like, the reason that we came out is because everybody was there for Tawi, and we can get more signatures.
Yeah.
Where there's more people around.
I just want to know if Tawi is involved, because they're saying Tawi get out. Marriage equality. Is he part of the problem here? Like, we better not be homophobic. It means henchy. Hot henchman.
No,
is not gay.
Don't you
it's
finish
not queer.
That. Don't finish that. Oh my! Why did you finish that sentence?
He wouldn't hire a queer henchie. So.
Oh no! There's
no hope. There's no hope in this world.
No. There's henchy. Oh.
Okay, so Sean's gonna go find White under the flag. This is cute. This is like the one moment where I feel like their romance is kind of more palpable and cute. Why does Sean seem so cute and vulnerable and sweet here? Like, just the other day he was bashing White over the head with a motorcycle helmet. They're holding hands? Why are they holding hands? What? This is literally like... When did they get to this stage? Like, he's in front of a whole bunch of queer people, and he's openly holding hands with White, and that is a sign. Like...
Why not? You can't just... Bros can hold bros' hands. What?
But it's like, it's an open declaration that, people will assume that you're a couple, right?
I will say that I think that this changed for Sean, being that, Black wasn't trying to stab him in his back and he wasn't trying to hurt him, but actually because something good came of all of this. And then that really changed the way that he felt about Black and what Black did. Not reckon as like, I was angry at you because you killed my revenge and stuff like that. But you know what? You actually aren't an enemy. This actually turned out better. You're on my side and you want revenge as much as I want revenge. So I think that feeling like you have someone in your corner for something that is so deep and such an issue for you, I think that is like him, like really, that's where the penny dropped. That's where he's really softening.
But I still reckon him holding White's hand is a big declaration, is a big symbol. It's of his feelings. Like, he wants to be in this queer space, holding his crush's hand. Freaking White looks like such a sweet bean. I can't imagine him evil sometimes. I mean, like, Gun is the twinkiest twink, really.
ตอนเนี้ยเรื่องนี้มันเรื่องใหญ่แล้วนะ กูได้ยินจากข่าววงในมาว่าทวีมันโกรธมาก มันสั่งให้ทุกคนตามจับพวกมึง แถมยังตั้งค่าหัวให้ตามเก็บพวกมึง
Uh-oh.
How does Gumpa have this knowledge? Like, who is Gumpa? What are his contacts?
He has contacts on the inside.
I
How do you
really
think they got?
I really need to
How
know
do you
what
think
his vibe is. Like,
How do you think they had like whole schematics of the like?
that's true. How
Of
did they
the,
get the
like,
floor plan?
factory.
Why didn't we even
Floor
question that? What?
plan.
It's not like
And
you can
also-
download it on his website.
But like he knew where to put everything was and like where the guards and stuff like that go. Man, he's on the inside.
ระวังตัวด้วยแล้วกัน
Besides, if he tells you about his past, then he has to kill you.
Oh god.
ยิ่งสังคมพูดถึงความชั่วของมันมากเท่าไหร่ มันก็ยิ่งเสียผลประโยชน์มากเท่านั้น
If I knew this worked for Chick-fil-A, or
Yeah.
โปรเจกต์ที่ผมอยากจะนำเสนอมีชื่อว่า
those are big words. Proletariat. I totally forgot what that meant.
Proletariat is like the regular people.
Bourgeoisie.
Yes, the bourgeoisie are the people who control the means of production. No, actually, capitalists are the ones who control the means of production, but the bourgeoisie and the petty bourgeoisie control the proletariat. So proletariat are just like everyday people, like the mass of people.
Gosh.
Yes, that's from Marxism. The proletariat will realize class consciousness and then rise up against the petty bourgeoisie and the bourgeoisie and overthrow capitalism.
Okay, but why is he using nudes?
สำหรับเธอหมายความว่า
I'm curious about that.
มันคือการใช้ภาพนู้นมาเปิดเผยกรรมอาชีพครับผม มันคือการถ่ายทอดศิลปะความงามของมนุษย์ผ่านการเปิดเผยกรรมอาชีพครับ
ทำไมต้องเป็นชนชั้นกรรมอาชีพด้วยล่ะ
แล้วทำไมถึงเป็นกรรมอาชีพไม่ได้ล่ะครับ
เป็นได้มันเป็นอะไรก็ได้ แต่ว่าสำหรับเธอคอนเซปต์เนี้ยมันมีอะไรที่น่าสนใจ
งานเปลือยของผมมันมีหลายความหมายครับ แต่เท่าที่ผมคิดมาเนี่ย ผมคิดว่าผมจะใช้ภาพนูดเพื่อเปิดเผยให้เห็นถึงร่องรอยและสังขารของชนชั้นกรรมอาชีพที่ถูกกดขี่จากชนชั้นทางสังคมและความอายุติธรรม โดยผมจะทำให้งานออกมาเป็นสไตล์แบบ expressionism จะมีการใช้เฉดสีที่สาดให้เห็นถึงความเจ็บปวดและความโหดร้าย ผมจะประกอบสีเหล่านั้นขึ้นมาให้กลายเป็นภาพเปลือยที่สื่อให้เห็นถึงการถูกกดทับให้อยู่ในกรอบของชนชั้นล่าง และผมก็แค่อยากตั้งคำถามครับว่าทำไมเราถึงไม่สามารถบรรยายความงามผ่านความเจ็บปวดของชนชั้นกรรมอาชีพได้
From the proletariat, yep.
คนจำกัดความงามไว้เพียงแค่กลุ่มคนบางส่วนเท่านั้น
อาจารย์มนเทียนครับ พอดีมีเจ้าหน้าที่ตำรวจมาขอพบนายเจตครับ
Uh-oh.
It's Una.
Yeah. He looks like running away from the popes. That's
It's
not
Una.
suspicious at all. Whoa, look at his parkour. That does not look safe.
That didn't look safe at all. And then he's going.
That's kind of hard. Sorry. Okay, can you guys talk? Why does no one talk?
Whoa! What are you doing?
Are they just showing off the car features?
ขโมยไปอ่ะ อยู่ไหน
อยากได้คืนก็หาเองดิคุณตำรวจ
He'll be like, that's my penis.
Yeah, I would be a bad hostage because I would like always be talking, making jokes. They would probably like take me back. Like,
Oh, is this his apartment? That's cute. Look at that view.
เชี่ยตำรวจ ตามหาบัตรอยู่เหรอ อยากได้คืนก็หาเองดิคุณตำรวจ
see, I feel like,
Why does Yok look so confident? Like, where did you hide it?
เจอไหมนะ
we're gonna be on him.
Okay.
เจอไหมเนี่ย ให้ถอดกางเกงให้เปล่า
Okay.
That's why.
Oh, he found it. He knows how to search. This was in your pocket. You felt that confident because it was in your pocket.
เป็นตำรวจซะเปล่า หาของแค่นี้ใช้เวลาตั้งนาน
ผมก็แค่อยากเปลี่ยนแปลงอะไรให้มันดีขึ้นน่ะ จากที่มันเป็นอยู่
เป็นตำรวจมันทำไม่ได้สินะ ตำรวจต้องรับใช้ประชาชน คำนี้สงสัยจะเกินจริงไปหน่อยนึงวะ
เวลาให้น้องสนใจ หรือจับจ้องแค่สิ่งไหนอะน้องก็จะเห็นแค่สิ่งนั้น ความจริงแล้วอะต ตำรวจเขามีงานเยอะกว่าที่น้องเห็นตั้งเยอะ แต่เรื่องที่มันเป็นประเด็นน่ะเทียบเป็นเปอร์เซ็นต์แล้วมันแค่นิดเดียว ถ้าเทียบกับงานที่มันมีอยู่แต่ไม่ได้ถูกโฟกัสอะน้องมองแค่เรื่องที่น้องสนใจ แล้วจะบอกว่าคนอื่นไม่ทำอะไรอะมันก็ไม่ถูกนะ
เป็นไรเนี่ย จู่ๆก็รักองค์กรขึ้นมาเหรอ แต่ไอ้สิ่งที่ผมเห็นจากงานศิลปะของพี่แต่ละชิ้นเนี่ย มันไม่เห็นเหมือนกับสิ่งที่พี่พูดเลยนะ ผมชอบฝีมือพี่มากเลยนะ
ฝีมือผม
ผมเห็นงานศิลปะที่เป็นประเด็นแบบนี้มาเยอะแล้ว แต่ผมสนใจที่คุณภาพงานมากกว่า
See?
Is Dad not gonna say anything back?
พี่น้องเป็นคนแรกเลยนะ ที่สนใจคุณภาพงานมากกว่าประเด็นที่ผมเล่าอะ
He was talking.
ผมชอบลายเส้นของพี่อะแล้วก็ชอบความงามในแบบที่พี่สร้างมันขึ้นมา
ผมก็ไม่ได้จบศิลปะมา ไม่รู้หรอกที่น้องพูดอะมันดีหรือไม่ดี
ดีศิลปะมันก็คือศิลปะ มันไม่เกี่ยวกับว่าจะเรียนจบหรือเรียนไม่จบมา คนที่เขาเรียนมากับไม่ได้เรียนมา มันก็มีความยูนิคกันคนละแบบ
Yeah, I get this.
ปล่อยมือผมไหมอะจะได้คุยกันดี
No. No, absolutely
ๆ
not.
หนีแล้ว
No.
ไม่หนีจริง
Because he likes you handcuffed.
Yoki's like, I'll give you a compliment. Now I'm free. That's pretty easy to gain trust. I mean, I don't know. As another artist, I don't like his style. Like, I wouldn't give a compliment to his quality. But then again, I don't really understand a lot of art. You can tell how good an artist is by how they draw hands.
ๆ ที่ผมตาม
How they draw hands?
Yeah.
เพราะผมอยากเข้าใจตัว
โอเค
ให้มากขึ้นทำไมพี่ถึงมาเป็นตำรวจแทนที่จะเป็นศิลปินนะ
แต่ก็ไม่คิดว่าโตมามันจะทำอาชีพอะไรที่มันจริงจังได้อะงาน NFT อะมันรายได้ดีกว่าตำรวจอีก
He's actually kind of good looking if he's not like trying to kill somebody or whatever. But like, I was like, wow, there's nothing on his face for once in this like in the series. The whole time he's either had something on the mask or hiding it and things like that. We don't know what he looks like.
Bruno is definitely giving me very suave energy. Very like, I'm cool, I have a nice car. I'm sensitive and creative, but also I can rough someone up. It's a very like confident, like silent energy.
ตำรวจแถวนี้ใครจะมาสงสัยพี่
ว้าว
There you go.
ครับคุณตำรวจ พี่ถามผมบ้างดิ พี่พาผมมาที่นี่ขนาดเนี้ย
But also, as an artist, I don't know, NFTs, I don't really get it, but I don't know if that's the future. And I'm kind of worried I'm missing out if I'm not making money off NFTs. Honestly, I don't think his art is good. And Yok complimenting his art skills is very...
I like this like vibe. I like this energy. I like what they're doing. I like the flirt. It's like this is like the first time. This is like episode 7 we're at when they're really giving that BL romantic flirty type energy, and I think this is also kind of different because you don't really see flirting hard between two people that like each other in BLs.
Does Dad like it? Okay, let me get back and let me just analyze this energy.
This energy.
He seems more friendly for no reason, you know. I guess.
Look at that.
พี่ถามผมบ้างดิ พี่พาผมมาที่นี่ขนาดเนี้ย
I guess he received a compliment about his art and now he's just like all giddy.
พี่ก็อยากรู้นะว่าทำไมน้องกับเพื่อนน้องถึงใช้วิธีทำแบบนั้นนะคิดว่ามันจะได้ผลนะ
แล้วสิ่งที่พี่ทำมาตลอดอ่ะ มันได้ผลไหมล่ะ
แต่น้องก็รู้ใช่ไหมที่น้องทำอยู่อ่ะมันก็ผิด
Oh, really, Dan? What?
รู้ดิ ผมรู้มาตลอดว่ามันผิด แล้วผมก็ไม่ได้คิดว่าตัวเองเป็นฮีโร่หรือคนที่คอยกอบกู้ความยุติธรรมอะไรนะ แต่ผมแค่รู้สึกว่าผมต้องทำอะไรสักอย่าง เพื่อทำให้คนพวกนั้นเขาเห็นสักทีนึงว่าสิ่งที่เขาทำอ่ะมันคือการเอาเปรียบคนอื่น
อย่างนี้น้องก็เตรียมโดนคดีตั้งแต่แรกแล้วถูกไหม
อยากจับก็จับเลย ผมเตรียมใจมาแล้ว จับดิ
Oh, I'm
แล้วถ้าพี่ไม่จับจะถือเป็นบุญคุณต่อกันไหม
แน่ใจเหรอว่าเป็นบุญคุณอะผมถือว่าเป็นการแลกกันมาตมัดมากกว่านะ
Oh my god, stop using these big words. Quid pro quo.
One thing for another.
What is he giving
ผ
back?
มว่าเรามาทำข้อตกลงกันดีกว่า
Okay, alright.
ผมจะไม่พูดเรื่องพี่
Oh,
และ
right.
พี่ก็ต้องไม่พูดเรื่องผม
Okay, that makes sense.
มีหนำซ้ำรอบที่แล้วอ่ะพี่วาดรูปผมไปพี่ยังไม่ขออนุญาตผมเลยนะ
Really? This again?
Oh.
โดนจับได้จริงๆด้วย
So he really did like him.
Why were you even thinking about him in the first place? Oh my god.
Right. You know, and he ended up in his painting. And so, you know, so that's why I think he would have got him out of class even if he didn't have his ID.
ลงนะ
Oh, we were already getting to the painting right now.
คราวที่แล้วพี่วาดรูปผมไปแล้วอ่ะ
I'm painting you.
วาดรูปพี่บ้างดิ
For his naked thing?
For his naked thing,
พอร์เทรตอ่ะ
your body, his body. I mean, that's good for you, Yok. It worked out for you.
Oh.
Is this a midnight call? Like,
Look, ain't nobody stopping by at 3 a.m.
มีอะไร
to talk? What time is it?
Talk about what? What it's about? No.
It's about their chemistry, right? Right? He can sense it.
Yeah, that's why you don't have doors open outward.
แกล้งหลับเหรอเมาซะหมดฤทธิ์เลยนะมึง
โปรเจกต์ของผมต้องการจะสื่อสารด้วยภาพนึกของคนในสังคม ที่ถูกกดขี่จากระบบที่ไม่ยุติธรรม พี่ถอดเสื้อผ้าออกได้ไหม
Huh? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where it was going.
พักยาของไอ้ทวีกูอยากให้มึงจับตาดูให้
Oh, they're doing the drugs? Okay.
สองคนนั้นไม่ถนัดการสอดแนม
There's all this 80s revival for GMM TV. It's very cute.
You know what? Though, we're now getting into like the BL element. Before it was like, okay, I think there's something going on there and like trying to like make a sweater out of a little thread. But now they're giving you all the whole yarn. That moment between Unar and York, that was cute. That moment between Sean and Black and White. My girl Nook was in the episode. That's what I needed.
Dan's energy changed really quickly for me. From being like getting his ID back to just being like, my art? You really like my art? Oh, thanks. And, you know, I guess there's a level of respect you have for someone else in the same profession. You can connect and talk about that stuff. I guess it goes doubly for them because they're trying to make social change. I didn't really get a lot of Dan's sort of like thought process though. He's kind of like, yeah, I'm in the police, and I didn't know where he stood, because obviously his art is very political, but then he didn't seem too against, like he was semi-defending them a little bit. That discussion I think I was left a bit confused about. I do get, you know, the fuzzy feelings when you can kind of let your guard down and trust someone. Like, that must be really nice for Dan and for Yok. You know, there's the cute bits, and then there's also the steamy bits where it's like, where's your wallet? Come and find your wallet. And he's like, oh, it's in my pocket, where it was actually, you know, where it's...
No, yeah.
And poor Graham, like, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere until Black revives, so we gotta wait for that.
What I really see in this episode is a lot of softening, especially with Sean, and not just his cross to bear with this revenge. I see a little softening with Unar. He liked Jook to begin with. I think it wasn't just a compliment of, oh, you like my art. It was the technical
Parts. And then also him saying, like, you know what? I didn't go to art school and blah, blah, blah. And also engaging with that.
The thing about that is, technically his art sucks to me. I can't tell if Yok is being sincere and he has a different perspective, or if Yok is just buttering him up. And if Dan is just like, oh, you actually think my technique is good? Because no one's talking about his technique, because it's not good to me. He didn't go to art school, it's obvious. Doesn't matter, you can still be an artist and have a social message and be really great and have your own technique and style. But he can't draw birds, he can't draw trees. Like, his tech doesn't need to be good. But I want to know if Yok was lying or not.
It's part of the fantasy. He may be drawing stick figures. I like the line of that stick figure.
Sean, yes, he definitely softened because I feel like he realized that there was hope at the end of the tunnel, because some change was happening. there were people gathering around the movement. Whether or not it kind of escalates or like gathers traction, that's another thing we'll have to see and find out and see what sort of strategy or thing that they do if it can eventually get what they want, which is to enact justice. Even in our current times, it's so hard to see the whole pipeline of change and to see how it started and what goes into it and see the end result. Even like now, there's movements that I don't think has gotten the outcome that they've wanted. And so how realistic is this gonna be in terms of like the amount of time it might take? Or I wonder how neat this will end up becoming.
Social movements aren't a thing that happen in a summer, in a season. And it's always along, and it's not just that period of time. It's like so many things built up to it.
I'm just very curious about how they're all going to wrap it up and what they're going to say. At this stage of the show, I'm kind of over everyone not finding out that white is white yet. So I'm kind of hoping that's soon. But next episode seems like another mission. I'm just looking forward to Yok drawing Dan.
Dan, like, draw me like one of your French girls.
Yeah. He'll just be spread eagled. I don't even know. He'd be like, here's my butthole. Anyways, so that was us for episode 7. Let us know what you think, and thank you for watching our reaction.
Let us know down below.